Before the foundation of the world, something was planted deep within you. It's not something that man can give, and it's not something the world can take away. It is not defined by your surroundings, nor limited by your past. It's not a product of status, talent, or acclaim. It is a seed, small, quiet, hidden, but within it lies something vast, powerful, eternal. This is the seed of greatness. A seed doesn't look like much. It can be overlooked, cast aside, buried beneath the dirt. But do not be deceived by appearance. What lies within that seed can shake mountains, tear through stone, and burst forth into life that no one expected. The greatness within you doesn't always announce itself with noise. It often begins in silence, in obscurity, in the soil of struggle and pain. You may look at your life right now and see nothing that reflects greatness. You may feel buried under failure, under disappointment, under fear. But what if you're not buried to be forgotten? What if you're planted to grow? A seed is never more full of potential than when it disappears from view. That's when the transformation begins. Don't curse the soil. The dirt is necessary. The pressure, the darkness, the waiting, it's all part of the process. Because greatness cannot be microwaved, it must be cultivated. It must break through the shell, press against resistance, and reach towards something greater than itself. There is greatness in you, but it's not born in comfort. It's born in perseverance. It's born when you refuse to quit, even when no one sees you. Especially when no one sees you. Everything you need to fulfill your purpose has already been placed inside of you. It's not coming from the outside in, it's growing from the inside out. The world may try to define you by what they see, but the truth is deeper. The potential within you was authored by the one who Cahn from the beginning. He didn't put you here to merely exist. He planted you to rise. You don't have to force it. You just have to be faithful. Water the seed. Guard it from the voices of doubt. Nurture it with truth. Feed it with hope. And when the time is right, it will break through. Not because of your might, but because that's what seeds do. The seed of greatness will grow. It's not a question of if, but when. The hidden imprint of purpose greatness isn't something the world can hand you. It's not the applause of men, the weight of titles, or the measure of possessions. No crown placed upon your head by another can compare to the crown already etched within your spirit. That is where true greatness begins, not as something you earn, but as something you carry. From the very beginning, it has been placed within you like a hidden imprint, a divine code written into the soil of your soul. You weren't born empty. Before you took your first breath, before you had a name, greatness had already been spoken over you. There's a purpose built into your being, a seed sown not by man, but by destiny. The world may try to convince you otherwise. It will tell you that greatness comes from power, from influence, from being seen. But the greatest men and women in history were not born from outward recognition. They were shaped in silence. Their greatness began in the invisible places, long before anyone noticed. Think of the seed. It holds no beauty on the surface. It seems fragile, even insignificant. Yet it contains everything needed for a mighty tree. The color, the strength, the branches that will one day give shelter. They're all inside that little shell. No one looking at the seed would see what's coming. But that doesn't change the truth. What's inside is not waiting to be added. It's waiting to be released. And so it is with you. Your circumstances may not reflect greatness. You may be surrounded by struggle, by rejection, by the quiet ache of wondering if your life truly matters. But those things are not the measure of your value. They're the soil. And soil doesn't diminish the seed. It awakens it. You're not missing greatness. You may simply be in the stage of being uncovered, developed, rooted. What makes this seed powerful is not its size, but its origin. It was planted by something higher than your fears, deeper than your past, stronger than any doubt. It is not tied to your reputation or your status. The world cannot give it. And more importantly, the world cannot take it away. So stop looking outside to find what has already been placed inside. You're not waiting on permission to be great. You're waiting on the courage to believe that you already are. And when you believe that, you begin to live from a different place, not trying to become something, but releasing what you already carry. Greatness doesn't shout. It doesn't boast. It doesn't need to be validated by popularity or performance. It simply is. It grows. It pushes upward when no one is watching. It finds the light even when buried in darkness. And one day, it will break the surface. Not to surprise you, but to confirm what was always true. You don't have to chase what you already have. You only need to protect it, feed it, and walk in it. Greatness is not coming from the outside in. It's rising from the inside out. The seed is there. Now believe in it and let it grow. The power of broken ground weakness. The very word makes many shrink. We are taught to avoid it, to cover it up, to pretend we are stronger than we are. In a world obsessed with perfection, weakness seems like the end. The moment you falter, fail, or fall behind, the world tells you that you're finished. But what if weakness isn't the end? What if it's the beginning of something sacred? Consider this. Every seed that grows must first be buried. It must enter darkness before it sees the light. And what is the soil if not broken earth? The seed doesn't grow in marble or in polished stone. It finds life in what is cracked, what is soft, what has been disrupted. In the same way, your weakness, your failures, your disappointments, your struggles can become the very ground in which greatness grows. Too often we disqualify ourselves because of our brokenness. We say, I'm not strong enough. I've made too many mistakes. I've failed too many times. But you must understand, what looks like the end in your eyes may actually be the beginning in the eyes of destiny. It's not the strong, the perfect, or the flawless who carry the most power. It is those who have been broken and humbled, yet choose to rise again. The truth is, your weakness can make you teachable. It can make you tender. It can bring you closer to compassion, to understanding, to wisdom. It strips away pride and leaves behind a heart that is willing, open, and ready. And that is where the seed takes root, not in arrogance, but in surrender. We don't like the dark places. We don't like the seasons where everything seems still, where no growth is visible. But the seed does its deepest work in the unseen, in the hidden, in the quiet. Just because you don't see fruit doesn't mean the root isn't formed. That time of weakness, of uncertainty, of pain, it's not wasted. It's preparing you. Do not fear your weakness. Don't let it shame you. Instead, let it become the altar where something new begins. You were never meant to do this in your own strength anyway. Sometimes the greatest gift is when your strength fails, because that's when a greater strength steps in. That's when the soil breaks open and the seed, long dormant, begins to stir. There's a reason why some of the strongest people are the ones who've walked through the deepest valleys. They didn't become strong by avoiding pain. They became strong by walking through it and letting it transform them. Your story is not over because of your weakness. It is only just beginning. You see, the seed of greatness does not need a perfect environment. It just needs to be planted in honest ground. So bring your brokenness, bring your doubt, bring your fears. Let the soil of weakness receive the seed. Because from that place, yes, that very place, something beautiful, powerful, and enduring can rise. You are not disqualified by your weakness. You are being prepared through it. Don't cover it. Don't curse it. Let it become the ground that nourishes what was planted in you long ago. The seed still lives, and it's getting ready to break through. Trust the soil, even if it feels broken, especially if it feels broken, because that is where your greatness will begin to grow. The mystery beneath the surface in a world that applauds appearances, that judges by the immediate, that rewards the loudest and the brightest. We often forget the profound truth that the most powerful realities are the ones we do not see. What is visible is only a shadow of what lies beneath. Greatness is not found in the applause of others, in the size of your platform, or the shine of your image. True greatness begins in the unseen, hidden in places where no eyes look and no spotlight reaches. Consider the roots of a mighty tree. You don't see them, yet without them the tree would collapse. The deeper the roots, the taller the tree can grow. But no one applauds the roots. No one visits forests to marvel at what lies under the ground. And yet that is where the strength is formed. That is where the stability is established. In the same way, your greatness is not first a public thing. It's a private one. It's not built when people are watching. It's formed when no one is looking. Think about the seed again. Before it can ever rise, it must first disappear. It is buried, covered, forgotten by the world. But even when no one sees it, something is happening. It is cracking open, transforming, sending out roots. That is how greatness grows, in silence, in surrender, in darkness. We live in a time that urges us to present, to post, to perform, but destiny is not built on performance. It is built in the quiet obedience to the unseen calling. In the prayers no one hears, in the tears cried in secret, in the hours spent wrestling in solitude, in the silent choosing of character over comfort. These are the places where the seed of greatness germinates. There is a temptation to prove ourselves, to show others how gifted, how anointed, how prepared we are. But in trying to be seen, we may miss what heaven wants to do in the hidden. If you skip the process, you short-circuit the purpose, because the hiding is not punishment, it is preparation. You may feel overlooked. You may feel hidden away while others rise, but don't despise the hidden seasons. That's where God does his deepest work. You're not being rejected, you're being rooted. And the deeper the rooting, the greater the future fruiting. The most precious things in life begin in hidden places. The child in the womb, the diamond in the earth, the calling in the quiet place. If your season feels invisible, then you're in the right place. That is where greatness begins. In fact, if you are hidden, you are likely being trusted with something sacred. So don't seek to be seen, seek to be faithful. Don't rush the unveiling, honor the rooting. Because when the time is right, and when the work is done, the seed will rise. And when it does, it will carry with it the depth, strength, and stability that only the hidden place could produce. Greatness is not proven in the spotlight, it's revealed there. But it is produced long before in the silence and the shadows and the surrender. So if you are in that place now, hidden, unnoticed, buried, take heart. That's the place where miracles begin. That's the place where greatness is born. The breaking must come before the rising. We are all born with something sacred inside. A seed, a calling, a potential not of this world. But that seed comes wrapped in a shell. The shell is our comfort zone. It is our pride. It is our fear of failure, our need for control, our false image. That shell can look like strength from the outside, but in reality, it is what keeps the greatness inside from breaking out. A seed cannot become a tree unless its shell breaks open. The shell is hard, protective, resistant to change. But as long as the shell stays intact, the life inside stays trapped. The same is true for us. There are moments in your life when you feel the pressure building, the discomfort, the shaking, the cracks beginning to form. Don't resist it. Don't run from it. That pressure may not be the end of you. It may be the breaking of the shell. It may be the very thing that releases your greatness. We don't like brokenness. We avoid it, mask it, deny it. But in truth, brokenness is not always a curse. It can be the doorway to transformation. Some of the most powerful people you'll ever meet are not the ones who've never been broken, but the ones who allowed their breaking to become a birthing. They let the tears flow. They let the walls fall. They surrendered the image of who they thought they needed to be and embraced the calling of who they were truly created to be. The shell is everything false that we've learned to live in. It's the voice that says, you're not enough. It's the fear that says, stay small. It's the memory of failure, the wound of rejection, the belief that says, I can't. That shell must be shattered, not by force, but by surrender, by trust, by saying, even if I break, what's inside of me is worth it. You might be in a season where everything feels like it's falling apart. But maybe it's not falling apart. Maybe it's falling into place. Maybe it's the sound of the shell cracking open. Maybe it's the first step to becoming who you were always meant to be. Don't curse the breaking. Bless it. Welcome. Because the same breaking that hurts you can be the breaking that frees you. What if your greatest breakthrough is on the other side of your willingness to let go of what's been holding you back? A seed left unbroken will never grow. A dream never pursued will never manifest. A life never surrendered will never soar. So if you feel the pressure, if you feel something breaking inside, don't panic. Lean in. Trust the process. Know that what feels like breaking is actually birthing. It is heaven's way of releasing the treasure inside of you. You were never meant to live inside a shell. You were born to rise, to stretch toward the light, but the light will not come until the shell is broken. And the breaking will not happen until you allow it. Until you say, I'm not going to let fear hold me any longer. I'm not going to live behind this mask. I'm ready to break open and let what God placed inside me come out.
The shell is strong, but what's inside is stronger. The time has come. Let it break. Let it rise. Let greatness be released.
The blueprint was there from the beginning before you ever took your first breath. Before the foundation of the world was laid, there was already a blueprint inside of you. A divine pattern encoded into your very being. Just as an acorn carries the entire blueprint of a mighty oak tree, so you carry within you the image of your destiny. You may not see it yet. You may feel ordinary, even broken. But the seed doesn't look like the tree. It doesn't resemble its future. It's small, fragile, unimpressive. Yet hidden within it is a design so profound that no human hand could have written it. The seed doesn't have to create the oak tree. It simply needs the right conditions to grow into what it already contains. So it is with you.
You were never meant to imitate someone else's purpose.
You don't need to borrow greatness. It was written into you. You don't need to compare, compete, or conform because what you carry is not a copy. It's an original. And that original, no matter how long it has been buried under fear, shame, or delay, still holds its identity. Time cannot erase it. Pain cannot destroy it. Doubt cannot void it. The problem is we spend our lives looking outward when the secret is inward. We ask, who will tell me what I'm meant to be?
You may have never heard this before, but you don't have to become great. You only have to reveal the greatness that's already there. Think of the caterpillar. It doesn't go to school to learn how to fly. It doesn't attend workshops on how to transform.
No, it carries the code of the butterfly within its being. At the appointed time, it yields. It surrenders to a process. It allows the image hidden within to emerge. It breaks, it waits, and it rises. You've been carrying something too. Not a talent alone, not just a skill or a passion, but a divine imprint, a calling, a destiny. And your setbacks, your detours, even your failures, they haven't removed it. They've only tilled the soil for it to grow. The loss you thought disqualified you may have actually prepared you.
The very thing you thought was working against you might have been working for the seed within you. So stop saying, I missed my chance. If the image is still there, then the future is still alive. Your calling is not held hostage by your past. It's waiting for your permission.
Waiting for your surrender? Waiting for you to stop striving to be something you're not and start becoming what you were always created to be. The seed doesn't strive. It abides. It yields to the sun. It roots in the soil. It trusts the process. And in due season, what was hidden becomes visible. The seed becomes a tree. The image becomes reality. You carry the image of your destiny. It's time to align with it. Stop questioning what's already been decided. Stop burying what was meant to grow. Look not at what you see around you, but at what has been written within you. Your future is not coming from out there. It's emerging from in here. And when you walk in that truth, when you awaken to that reality, no force on earth can stop the unfolding of what was planted in you by heaven itself. The image of your destiny is waiting to rise. Believe in it, nurture it, and let it grow. The eternal planting within you. We live in a world where feelings often dictate reality. If you feel confident, you believe you can achieve. If you feel weak, you convince yourself you're failing. But let me tell you something powerful. Your greatness has never been defined by how you feel. It was never rooted in your emotions. Greatness is not an emotion. It's a divine planting. It is something far deeper, far more unshakable, and far more enduring than your changing moods. Feelings are fleeting. One moment you're full of hope, and the next you're overcome by doubt. But God does not base his calling on your temporary state. What he places in you is eternal, unshifting. Sure, just because you feel unqualified doesn't mean you are. Just because you feel overlooked doesn't mean you're forgotten. Just because you feel empty doesn't mean you don't carry something sacred. Greatness doesn't scream. It often whispers. It's not proven in the spotlight, but forged in the hidden place. You may feel unseen, unheard, and uncertain, but those are just feelings. Don't let them speak louder than truth. The truth is, God formed you with purpose. He placed treasures within you that this world has yet to see. Think of Moses. He didn't feel strong. He felt afraid. He didn't feel worthy. He felt inadequate. But what God placed in him had nothing to do with what Moses felt. The assignment came anyway. The burning bush still called him higher. Why? Because the greatness in him wasn't about Moses' confidence. It was about God's purpose. Or take David, a shepherd boy, overlooked, forgotten, dismissed by his own family. He didn't feel like a king, but the anointing oil still flowed. Why? Because what was placed in him could not be defined by how he was treated or how he felt in the fields. The greatness in him was determined by the one who planted it. Your feelings can be deceptive, but God's placement is sure. When you start defining yourself by what he has deposited in you, rather than by your momentary emotions, your perspective changes. You stop reacting and start building. You stop doubting and start declaring. You stop retreating and start stepping forward. Sometimes God allows you to feel small so that when you rise, you know it wasn't you, it was him in you. Sometimes he hides the greatness until the pressure comes. The pressure doesn't destroy it, it activates it. Like a seed, the shell breaks so that life can emerge. What's been breaking in your life might actually be revealing the power that's been buried inside of you all along. So when you don't feel chosen, remember, you are already set apart. When you don't feel strong, remember, his strength is made perfect in your weakness. When you don't feel like you have what it takes, remember, you carry the image of the one who does. Stop giving your feelings final authority. They were never meant to be your compass. Let your identity come from the one who formed you, not from the voice of your insecurity.
What you carry isn't ordinary, it's eternal, it's holy, it's heaven planted. And when you walk by that truth, when you silence the lies and tune into what's been placed in you, then you begin to live, not as a prisoner of how you feel, but as a steward of what you've been entrusted with.
Because your greatness is not an opinion. It's not a mood. It's not a fleeting emotion. It's a seed placed by divine hands, waiting to grow, waiting to bloom, and waiting to change the world through you.